Oppenheimer sounding bearish on Microsoft, the firm downgrading the tech giant to perform from outperform. Oppenheimer saying Microsoft could face losses in the $2 to $3 billion range from its OpenAI investment next year, thanks to slow enterprise adoption. So the key thing to listen out for here, right, is concern about AI moving forward here and the expenditures coming in from AI and AI revenue moving forward. The analyst behind the call saying that overestimated near-term AI revenue is a concern here. And Seana, I think it's interesting when we broaden this out a little bit, looking at some of the other downgrades we've gotten this week, even Wells Fargo downgrading Amazon, for example. Is there a question out there, Jeffries with Apple, is there a question out there about the longevity of the tech trade and whether or not there's been a little bit too much bullishness?
Yeah, and I think we started to see that creep in. Well, it's been a couple of months at this point, but especially on the heels of its most recent earnings print, right? Because there was a lot of concern. You could see it reflected in the day after, a couple days after we saw their last round of earnings numbers, just the amount that they were spending and their CapEx plans for the remainder of this year and going into next year. And a lot of that was just based off of questions of how long it is going to take for some of these AI bets to essentially pay off and what that boost is going to be to the bottom line. So, and then it's very similar to a conversation that we had with Gil Loria over at D.A. Davidson not too long ago, talking about the current valuations right now and how much of this has already been priced in, and the fact that it is still trading well above its historical average, or 10-year average, I should say, just in terms of 30 times estimated earnings, which is below that peak, but still above the 10-year average, has caused many people to question Microsoft's valuation in particular. But again, when you take a look at the run-up that we have seen in the stock price, we've got a 2-year chart up on your screen right now, up just about 80% year to date. It has been an outperformer there, largely because of their massive bets on AI. But I think the big question is how long that is going to last, and maybe what that roadblock could be here, at least in the short term.
Absolutely.
But overall, though, the street still remains positive on these tech names. So
right.
It is important to couch that. Some analysts are starting to take some issue or call out maybe some weakness that we could see, but overall, we are still seeing a bullish activity here across the board for many of these larger cap tech names.